Yo, 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 what is going on, everyone? So, I have officially finished my Adventure Time journey as I just finished Distant Lands. So, I saw it in the 1, 2, 4, 3 format, as many of my subscribers at the time of watching this told me to go into it this way to experience the true ending. So, if you guys haven't, for some reason, checked out any of the reviews or the reactions, YouTube stuff, or just go on my playlists, there's an entire archive of everything I have ever created for Adventure Time there. So, without further ado, let's get into the Adventure Time Distant Lands review. After a shaky season 9 and 10, in a kind of way, I didn't know what to expect from a show that did have a fitting series finale. Would they explore the world further? Would characters get their final hurrah? Or would they simply be one-off adventures for random characters? Well, it turns out it was a bit of everything. Distant Lands contains two of the series' pinnacles, while also contains some of the more relaxing specials that surprisingly adds a lot to an already boundless and limitless world and timeline. I felt we could have done without two of them, but they still included some vital information on the passage of time and some fleshing out and overcoming from our characters. Then the other two specials and episodes are essential to filling out major issues I had with the original series, which results in some of the best Adventure Time content in the entire series and even in animation. So this time around, I usually format my reviews and synopsises in plot, characters, and episodes. But I think I will do it in a much more contained way where I generally talk about the episodes and all of this in the order I watch them. BMO. This one starts out what seems like a BMO mission post-Gumball War. BMO ends up on a planet which emphasizes the Distant Lands theme, where they make friends with the mistreated bunny and faces a disrupt government with their power source and leaders. Perhaps the most adventurous in terms of the politics and state of all the specials. I did not find this one too interesting until the end, as that one implies that this is actually the prequel or the origin of BMO and the meeting of Finn and Jake, and even some newfound information of Mr. M being Martin before reuniting with Finn. We can assume this as they have human feet and even have the same I'm out of here approach towards the bad situations. This special feels more like an Angel Face performance, or perhaps even the beginning of BMO's risk-taking role-playing. Still, this was a cozy and lively start, even if it can feel a little underwhelming for majority of its runtime. Obsidian. Following this, we have my personal favorite and the best of the Distant Lands series, Obsidian. This one encapsulates one of the most emotional and heart-inducing butterflies for both the connection between Peebee and Marceline, all within the backdrop of the present-day Glass Kingdom and the flashback of their relationship and Marceline's story of staying closed off with her emotions. Even having Glass Boy and Larvo act as a mirror of a younger Marceline and her experiences. A beautiful touch to this world and set predicaments. I feel every minute was filled with intention and either a reflection or progression of the story, world, or background, which all flowed and transitioned into one another seamlessly. The emotion and the music was on another level, which made me wish we had more of these centered episodes throughout the series. There is a brief look at Finn and Braun, which may be or not disturbing. Nonetheless, I love this special so much, and it deserves to be in the discussion for the best moments and episodes in the entire series. Wizard City. One of the more off-the-wall episodes as we follow Peppermint Butler, or at least a reincarnation of him, who wants to become evil all over again. He's put into a wizard school where he meets the adorable, goofy, and supportive Deb, who is incredible at magic, but doesn't really care for it. This becomes one of the more dark and morbid stories, as the teachers around here all have this cult and sinister nature to them, with the addition of these mysterious jewels and weapons that result in deaths of the student and even a former dark magic using teacher. PB then decides to take a more dutiful path to becoming a wizard, as they do not want to become their past and involve themselves in that world anymore. The story doesn't add much continuity besides the mention of the Gumball War and the status of Peppermint Butler being banned from the city, but this manages to be a contained story set in a hardly touched wizard world. A fun, dark, and random special that does well and contains the best character in the entire show, Deb. And one could see this as the weak point, since it technically is the finale of Distant Lands and even the series. But that is why my fans had told me to watch the next episode last. Together again. Now, this is how you do a finale. Only Adventure Time could world build a place of death, as time and time again it has shown its masterful vastness of world and constructs. This gives layers and levels of detaching oneself from ourselves the higher you go. This is the perfect backdrop as we explore Finn and Jake in the Death World. We get some trippy visuals when Finn gets bitten by a memory creature that shows his real age. The first 3/4 of this part can run a little slow as we meet new death, familiar characters, and given explanations of the world as Finn is out to see Jake. The 2 parts I wasn't the biggest fan of were the beginning that activated Jake, as it felt a little bit too crying for the solution, and the more focus on Tiffany, but I suppose they were given a nice role and even ending with their inclusion. This causes the special to feel slow and not as climactic or always being keyed in. To counter this, the final act is perfection, as we are given the payoff of the gradual buildup. We are given the inclusion of life from the specials, so you gotta watch them, as it connects the identity of New Death as her son, the reincarnation process, and the weapon to kill Death, with which has the twist that whoever commits this act must take over as the New Death. This sets up an incredible set of sequences as Jake and Finn pridefully and heartwarmingly fight for who will become Death. A final satisfying encounter with the Lich. He went to the depths of depth to end existence. And the eternal bond and process of friendship and reincarnation, as now the themes of past lives and many lifetimes not only echo but become reality and supersedes life itself. This is a testament to Finn and Jake's friendship and commitment, which cements one of the best bonds in animation, with injections of existentialism and spiritualism that the series has been known to do. Despite the slow start that does make the finale a bit weaker, the build-up is worth it, and that final act is one of the strongest moments in the entire series and becomes an incredible series finale, even surpassing the original Season 10 finale. While I still have Gravity Falls as one of the best animated endings of all time, the message and connections this one pulls is brilliant and gave me satisfaction that I was dying for with the original series. While there may be still some lingering stories and plots, this was still a fantastic and correct way to end the experience and adventure. Overall / final impressions. I think Distant Lands can be worded concisely. Peaks that are unfathomably high and pristine, while the lows are actually not that low, but do impact its overall quality. Had the 2 other episodes consisted of quality close to, maybe even 3/4, or on par with Obsidian and Together Again, then we would have been talking about some generational and untouchable content and package that almost no animation could dream of capturing. Unfortunately, those other episodes, while a nice and fun inclusion, does severely weaken the entire Distant Lands experience, especially with its formatting. It still does contain one of the best and touching animated finales that tells a story of a friendship and adventures withstanding death itself, and a disarrayed and blossoming relationship that's shriveled with war, emotions, and layers of time and distance. It's beautiful, touching, and joyous. And it was still amazing to experience. I'm giving Adventure Time Distant Lands a 8 out of 10. It kind of hurts me to say that because we had two of the pinnacles of the series in this installment. So that's going to be it for me. The next time you see me might be the last time with Adventure Time, because that's going to be the review, which I am unsure how I will tackle that. I guess I'll see you there.